Hey everybody, this is Giancarlo Aulino, Michael Asiffo, Aaron Zaretsky, and we're back. Another roundtable here on the game plan, our live stream on YouTube. And guys, it's been a long time. I'm gonna catch up here on one of the big stories, Kawhi Leonard. It looks like the coast is clear. He could be a Raptor again. Pablo Torre was lurking around, getting everybody, skeptical, I would say, about Kawhi. But fingers crossed. It looks like he's coming back. Aaron, I'll start with you here. Are you happy about this Kawhi thing, or are you not getting your hopes up that Kawhi can be back on the Raptors just yet?
When the rumors first started in June of Kawhi possibly coming back to the Raptors, like I didn't want to get my hopes up. I didn't really believe much into it because I'm going to fall for it. I don't want to get duped. But then when all the news outlets reported that the trade is in place, the trade's going to happen, I'm like, okay, then it's like get excited, Kawhi's back, and then as we've all seen, this whole saga with the investigation comes up again, all these different stories regarding the Clippers and Kawhi and everything, this whole drama and everything, and like I'm still hopeful. Like I still do believe that Kawhi next basketball game will be with the Raptors. Um, and it's just I just want this investigation to end. Like it's been coming up on a year now, and I thought it was over a few days ago, but then NBA is like, wait a minute, ESPN, fake news, and then it's like, okay, now here we go again. A lot of these ESPN the toying with Raptor fans' emotions, like a rag doll. So I just want this investigation, and like I'm just so done with it.
Yeah, Michael, what do you think about this? Kawhi,
Uh,
Pablo Torre.
yeah, you know what? Look, I think regardless of obviously all three of us want to see the Raptors succeed. The city is better when the Toronto Raptors are good at basketball. And not just good like contender at basketball. And so, even us who want to see that understand that like, look, journalism, is a dying breed, and we need to see guys like Pablo Torre do their thing. So regardless of like my personal fandom and my want for Kawhi Leonard to be a Raptor, um, we have to let things play its course, as he's reported and as the NBA is going to do. I hope though that like whatever the NBA decides to do, it keeps the integrity of the league. You know, if Kawhi Leonard, it's all but like I think we can all agree, it's all but kind of assured that he probably did circumvent the cap, and because of that, some punishment, some form of punishment should come down from the league, and that's that. It would have been nice for him to just plant one tree so we could have avoided all of this, and did one commercial spot for a scoreboard company to avoid all this. But here we are. But it looks like ESPN's reporting was pretty much like, although there were some inaccuracies, the NBA has put it, they never denied the fact that Kawhi Leonard wasn't going to be not suspended. So I think there is like a belief that he is going to be a Raptor, and if he is a Raptor, it makes the Raptors much better on paper. So yeah, it is what it is there.
Yeah, it's like one of those things too with Kawhi. He's been out and about in Toronto a little bit too much. Like he's
Yeah.
showing on camera. Comes back for Kyle Lowry's retirement ceremony. Then he goes to York at the tennis thing. Like he's making it known. Like whatever the NBA says, I'm reporting to the Raptors, even though the deal's not done. So gotta love him for that. And then we never seen Kawhi even go on social media, and then all of a sudden now he's Mr. Social Media with the videos in China. Like if he did that, like you said, with the tree and the scoreboard, we wouldn't be in this mess.
He's
But
learning. He's learning.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson.
Yeah. They updated his patch. They patched his up. They did an update for his patch, and now Kawhi 2.0 understands you gotta do some social media appearances. Yeah.
You got the software all up to date now. The new version, 2026 version, the iOS Kawhi over there. And we got also another rumor of another Raptor return here. And DeMar DeRozan, he's been a free agent for a while. And there was like reports that they were waiting on the Kawhi deal to go before they can move forward with that. So, Aaron, what do you think of DeMar DeRozan also returning to the Raptors and joining this new look team with Kawhi there?
I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Not just because like of the trade of like, okay, DeMar traded for Kawhi, and now years later they're both playing on the same team. But also you would have on the same team DeMar, Kawhi, and Scotty Barnes, which is like basically kind of like three eras of Raptors basketball on the same Raptors team. So from that point of view, it's like, okay, it's like that's new. That hasn't really been seen before, to combine all those different eras. So I'm like, it would be so entertaining. It'd be so fun to watch.
Michael, what do you think of the depth there? Like they would have, I think DeMar would come off the bench if they do that. You have Kawhi, you have Scotty, Murray Boyles. Is this team like a strong contender with that lineup?
I would probably put them at dark horse. I wouldn't say contender. I'd say dark horse. The problem, like I think the defensive permutations you get with the Raptors with Kawhi and Scotty and CMB is very, very strong. The issue that you run into is that like DeMar DeRozan off the bench, I think could be great. Like he can probably score, and they need off the bench scoring, but he's not a very good defender, and he's not the same DeMar DeRozan who was like get a bucket at will that he was when 7 years ago when we traded him, unfortunately, which was a heartbreaking thing, but it had to be done, and you saw what happened next, right? So I don't know if DeMar DeRozan makes him that much better from a basketball fit perspective to make them the contender. I think getting a big man would have been probably, or investing some money in some sort of big man, whether backup or starting, would have probably been the better play here. If again, assuming that the DeMar DeRozan thing is a go and he is going to be in fact a Raptor, would have probably been the better play, but unfortunately, or fortunately, that isn't the thing that's happening. So with DeMar DeRozan, like he makes him better. Like don't get me wrong, and we'd love to have him, but I don't think he makes him that much better. That the Raptors now go from third in the East, I presume, to automatically number 1 seed.
And it's like one of those things too, where like you look around the East, like Boston, Miami now with Giannis, Philly there. So, Aaron, do you think the Raptors need one more spicy move? Because I've been seeing, like, I don't know how true this would be, if they even have the pieces to do it, but Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry's name out there, like, how realistic do you think those are to add to this team?
Yeah, like those would be great, but very unlikely. Like I doubt it. Like Kyrie, I'd give it zero chance it would ever happen. Steph Curry, maybe, I don't know, maybe 20%, just because of his father playing with the Raptors. And yeah, Steph Curry would be tremendous, because he would increase the Raptors' three-point shooting significantly, which Raptors were also struggling with three-point shooting. But the move, to Michael's point, would be to really boost the team, would be to have another big man, because yes, CMB did very well in the playoffs against Cleveland last season, For him to now to rely on him to now be your starting center, play like over 30 minutes a game and to contribute very well on a daily basis, that's a lot of pressure to put on a second year player. So if they were to add another big man to kind of, to take some of that pressure away from him, because Jakob Hurdle, like, as we've all seen, like he got teared up by Jared Allen in the playoffs, and there were times where he looked very unplayable. So, the Raptors, like hopefully Hurdle, if Hurdle's healthy, hopefully he can, improve. But that too, I see as unlikely.
And I don't know how many big men are out there right now. Like I know Sabonis's name has been out there for a long time, but Michael, if you were to maybe look around the league as like realistic options for this team, who would you say would be the best fit for the Raptors right now?
Well, okay, so the Raptors don't really have a ton of cap space, even with the Kawhi trade. So I'm gonna throw in a name here, okay? Why don't we pick up Ben Simmons?
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Why not? He wants to get back in the league. Now again, this is all dependent on the fact that if he would like to come to Toronto, then he would come to Toronto. So like if he doesn't want to be here, what are you gonna do? But I heard recently a clip. It was, I believe, Rich Paul, and he was talking on a podcast, and he was talking about Ben Simmons, and he said something along the lines of, if Ben Simmons decides to just transition into becoming a center, he would be, and a pick and roll center at that. With his vision and his court IQ, he would extend his career by like 7 years. And I think that is a hell of an idea. And the Raptors need a pick and roll center who can play defense like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons can guard 1 to 5, or at least the version of Ben Simmons that was last in the league can guard 1 to 5. He can pass the ball. He can run the fast break. And he's a damn near 7-footer. So he has the size to play center and not just small ball center, right? Like actual center. So you sign him to a mid-level exception. Assuming the trade goes through and assuming he wants to be here, why not? Why not?
I like. Aaron, what do you think of Ben Simmons in a Raptor uniform? That's a lot of depth there for the Raptors.
It would be, and that's thinking outside the box, which is like, even though Masai Ujiri is no longer with the Raptors, that's something that he would even maybe think of in that terms of like creativity. And then Michael, as you said, like a mid-level exemption, so that wouldn't cost the Raptors too much money. Like to try it out, like I wouldn't be opposed to trying out, see how it would fit. And hey, it's low risk, high reward potential. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that happening.
Transition here to next topic. AEW is going back to Wembley, and our fellow Canadian Kenny Omega is headlining against England's own there, Will Ospreay. I know that the story between the two is, Will proving he can win the title and doing it in the UK. Like, is this a foregone conclusion that Kenny's dropping the title, Michael?
Foregone conclusion. I mean, it's the UK, Ospreay's hometown. You probably assume so because I All In is basically AEW's WrestleMania, so you'd assume they want to send the home crowd happy on their WrestleMania night. My only thing on this matter is that are there plans to draw the story out to double or nothing, so to speak? So I would probably say yes. That Kenny Omega is gonna go ahead and get the title, and it's in the home crowd of Wembley. But I wonder. I wonder, if you got something cooking.
Aaron, I remember when Forbidden Door was in Toronto, Kenny Omega taking on Will Ospreay. Fans didn't really go home happy that night. It looked like Kenny Omega died there. He took that
Oh,
Tiger Driver in the middle of the
Oof.
ring,
Yeah,
dropped
that
on his
was
head,
rough.
and the heel went over. So, like, could history repeat itself over here, where Kenny this time does it to Will in front of the Wembley the stadium there, and send them home mad, or are you more aligned with Michael in that they're gonna send the crowd home happy? Kenny drops the title to Will, and they go on with the MJF angle.
Yes, I would go with the latter on that one. Um, because I don't think they would want the Wembley, and that giant crowd to boo heavily towards Tony Khan and AEW. So I do see Osprey coming out as a champion.
And just your thoughts, guys. Like, I know they have Adam Copeland and Christian back together there. The tag division apparently, well, reports are like the New Day could be joining in as well. You got the Young Bucks over there. What do you think of just like the tag team scene overall there with like all these teams together? And is that something that could put AEW as a more of an alternative to WWE and over that hump there?
Well, AEW, they've always had a strong tag team division, which has been, one of the main reasons to watch AEW, right? With OTR and Edge and Christian Cage, right? And then all the other tag teams that they had as well with the Young Bucks. So, they always put on good matches, very entertaining. um, but like Edge, this looks like it's going to be his last year competing professionally. So that would be a big loss for AEW for the tag team division. But yeah, New Day, like if they were to join, then that kind of will like replace be a good replacement.
And Michael, what do you
And
think about? Oh, sorry, man.
no, and then just to with the New Day, like if they do join AEW, then I could see them doing more like funny slash creative things, and probably find creative ways to take jabs at WWE.
Aaron, or sorry, Michael, what do you think of like Aaron's thoughts are like New Day coming in? Will that be a weekly thing? Take some jabs at WWE because those guys are creative, especially Xavier Woods there.
Mhm. I mean, look, I think the WWE jabbing is tired. Like, I get that, like, sometimes it can be funny, and sometimes in doses, it's a nice little thing to have, because it's like you're trying to go at those guys, right? And I remember like how fondly our forefathers or the last generation looked at the Monday Night Wars. And we want that again so badly because we think we're going to get the same kind of television, but that's just not how it works anymore. So I want the new that's not to say that I don't concur that I think the New Day coming back isn't a good thing. Like I do think it's a good thing. I think Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, Kofi Mensah now probably most likely is going to be our great talents to have, and are wonderful in the ring and out of the ring. And I also concur that AEW's like one of AEW's like features that they can hang their hat on is their tag team division. Their tag team division is solid. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a welcome addition. But in terms of like, hey, let's now start to shoot promos. No, like let's pump the brakes and get good, honest wrestling with guys who are good at their jobs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of guys who are good at their jobs, it seems like TKO, who had the purse strings a little tight for a long time, is paying Roman Reigns a hefty sum because I've seen him week to week now on WWE programming. So they're going back to this bloodline storyline. got Solo back. Solo's finally showing more of a personality, but now it looks like they're all under the bloodline with Jacob there, the Usos. Michael, do you think this is tiring the storyline? Like they're overdoing it with the bloodline by bringing it back again?
Yes and no. Like, yes, because this is classic. Excuse me. This is classic investor shareholder behavior. When like one CEO tries something new and they don't think it's working out after like 2 months, they quickly panic and go towards the thing that's worked before. You see it with production companies when it comes to original movies. What do they do when things are shaky and they're kind of panicking a little bit? Get another sequel, like, you know what I'm saying? So this is a thing that happens all the time. They try to like run something back that was tried, tested, and true. But this isn't like the Big Mac combo at McDonald's. This is creative storytelling, and you want to see things go in new directions. So on that front, no, I think this is a very tiring. Oh, sorry. Yes, this is a very tiring thing. On the no side, you have guys like the Usos coming into their own. You have Solo Sikoa kind of figuring himself out on the mic. Jacob Fatu's been great, and he wasn't necessarily there before in like a large dose. He kind of came after when it was the MFTs, and now you have the MFTs on SmackDown, and Haku has come back. So what do they do with that? And now you have LA Knight getting more of a prominent role in the storyline. And by the way, CM Punk lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Do they do something with him? So there are more elements here that could spice up what they have in terms of the bloodline. But I do think it'd be nice to see if we can kind of get rid of the bloodline, tried, tested, and true storyline to go into something where all these characters that are involved go into their own, irregardless of that.
Aaron, do you think there's some more here to this bloodline storyline? Because it seems like the odd one out all the time is The Rock, but doesn't look like he wants to go back into WWE anytime soon there.
True. And then, the time where it looked like The Rock was going to make a name and, fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that obviously didn't happen. And then, because it would be tremendous, right, if The Rock were to face Roman Reigns, or if The Rock were to face Solo Sikoa or Jacob Fatu, that would be very entertaining. But not just from an entertainment point, just to have, The Rock say that, okay, he played a significant role in the Bloodline storyline. But to your earlier question of with the bloodline, I would agree with too that it is tiring. Like I like on the other hand that they've been incorporating the younger generation of the bloodline, so it's like the bloodline has relevant members, and it's not like other factions where they just add people just for the sake of continuing that group. And then and then with The Rock, it would just be maybe just one match, one match on a pay-per-view, maybe a Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, or maybe even not even have him compete, maybe have him as a special guest referee. That would be also, add a lot of value and can really enhance the Bloodline storyline.
Definitely. And brings also to the next one there on especially in WWE is this whole Obafemi Brock Lesnar storyline that now turns into Braun Breaker challenging Obafemi. Like, could that be something where I know they have this match now Saturday or Sunday night's main event? They're calling it. Should that have been saved for like a WrestleMania, like something bigger than that?
No, look, you know what? I think one of the things that I don't like about this new age like style of wrestling is that we're saving matches for like the main event. Like, I want to see guys wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like, every WWE show, and I think this is why AEW does a really good job, is every WWE show starts with the 20-minute promo, They cut to a nothing match that probably ends in some screwy finish. Then another promo. Then a backstage segment. Danhausen comes over and he's great. I love Danhausen, but like, every week, come on. And then they have like a match against two guys that's supposed to be kind of well up on the card, and then another match, and then they go home. I want to see guys wrestle. I want to see good 20 to 30-minute slobber knockers. And so if we're going to get something on Sunday Night Main Event, and then maybe that parlays into Money in the Bank, great. We don't need to wait. Not every good potential matchup needs to wait until WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to do that every single time. So yeah, no, I want to see these guys wrestle, and if it's that Sunday Night Main Event, it's that Sunday Night Main Event.
You don't want to see another Human Monies on a pole match?
Oh yeah, like no, garbage.
Yeah, the creative meeting must have been on fire with that one. Human Money's on a poll. Let's do it. We're good.
Oh my god.
Aaron, what do you think of just this whole build there? Like Obafemi takes out Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, those 49-year-old knees must have been screaming when he did that tombstone. Bare knees on the wood there, exposed ring. Puts over Oba as a future. Braun Breaker takes exception to that. It's like, no, I'm the future. And now they go at it. Like, what do you make of this storyline?
I can see the storyline doing very well. To have Breaker versus Obafemi, like they could do a lot of great things, working together, and then there's so many different angles too. Because with have Paul Heyman involved, that adds like a Brock Lesnar element into the storyline, and then it's also kind of like Braun Breaker. He was supposed to be the guy, the future. He was supposed to win the Royal Rumble. But now Obafemi, he has emerged as the next big thing, as Taz would say. So yeah, like these and these two guys, like I see them being, in the future heavyweight title picture for years to come, to kind of like, because when the day comes that CM Punk no longer wrestling, when Roman Reigns no longer wrestling, Braun Breaker and Obafemi, they can propel WWE, for like, the next, 15 years or so.
Definitely. And just on the topic of Brock there, our final like topic here before we close, but I asked Eric Bischoff, and for those listening, you'll see that in this episode and hear his thoughts there. But I also asked Chad Bronstein, the RAF head guy there, about Brock Lesnar, because Brock's retired, but we know like he's gonna get bored once in a while. Like on the farm, there's only so much you can do over there. Do you think Brock's competitive aspirations and just even mat wrestling, like Real American Freestyle, do you think he can actually go into RAF, Michael?
Wow, what an elite pull. It'd be cool to see him. It would be cool to see him do it. If he's healthy and able to do it, it would be cool. The thing about it is that okay, maybe I am just some woke liberal libtard or whatever. I don't know, but it feels kind of gross given the discovery of the Vince McMahon case, seeing Brock Lesnar everywhere, and we just excuse it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. But like at the same time, I can compartmentalize and understand that, hey, like on its face, it'd be nice to see Brock Lesnar in a amateur wrestling mat doing that thing again. So yeah, like it'd be half and half, I guess.
Or do you think Brock's done competing, or maybe even WWE goes back to in the future, like if he's bored? Because Brock is, if the money's there, especially with the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania coming up, it's going to be hard to turn down that payday for Brock Lesnar.
True, and I definitely can see him, making WWE appearances on television, maybe in the same capacity of how they had Steve Austin. at where it's like, maybe like every year or so he just comes out and stuns a few people and then leaves. So I could see that with Lesnar, right? Maybe on a TV special or a Raw special, or just maybe even a pay per view. Just if somebody starts talking shit, he just comes out, does an F5, and then just leaves.
Yeah, because Brock doesn't have to do a promo. We don't need no promos there from Brock. Just go in. You don't have to like advertise it when The Rock goes back. Like, okay, you can 30-minute segments, 20-minute segment because he's gonna cut a promo with Brock. It's like, okay, hop around for 5 minutes, gonna come in at 5, send the crowd home happy. That's about. So it's an easier one for Brock.
Yeah, exactly. Or like every time when when WWE goes to Minnesota, Brock Lesnar just comes out.
Be good. Off the farm in Saskatchewan, when they go, they can do a Saskatchewan event. Just show up at a Home Hardware somewhere and just do an autograph signing. Just pop in. Oh yeah. TKO.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were thrilled at that. You did this for free, Brock? Yeah. Okay. We don't do that here at the VIP experience at TKO.
Yeah. How weird that would have. How weird that must have been. You just walk into a hardware store, picking up some items, and then you just see Brock Lesnar. I'm like, what?
Sad in a way there. Yeah. But before we close here, one topic, I guess, other than Brock Lesnar, has been what Triple H is going to do here now, going into WrestleMania next year. Like we're in August now, but usually around now they're mapping out up to Royal Rumble. Do you think he has some surprises of a Royal Rumble winner? Because we did see Jey Uso a couple of years ago. So I guess, Michael, who do you think he's going to do now with Money in the Bank and then the Royal Rumble bill?
Here's what I think will happen. Here's what I would think Triple H would have if he had all of the things at his disposal. What I think is going to happen is they're going to do a Roman Reigns versus either one of the three, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, or LA Knight, right? They're one of them are going to win the Royal Rumble, and then they're going to go on to face Roman Reigns and probably take the belt off of Roman Reigns at that WrestleMania. What I would hope happens, and what I hope they learn their lesson from, is The Rock comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and then you get the Roman Reigns versus The Rock super match with either one of the two winning. Because, again, think about why people were so mad about the Cody Rhodes, Rock, Roman Reigns saga. And it turned out to be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. But think about why people were mad. Because wrestling fans have a very strong sense of fairness. And it just didn't seem fair that after Cody Rhodes won the match and points to Roman Reigns like this, he has to step aside for a dude who hadn't competed in the better part of a year and a half. It didn't seem fair. So why not WWE learn their lesson and just have The Rock come out a couple weeks before, attack Roman Reigns with a rock bottom, and then he comes back in the Royal Rumble at lucky number 27 and wins the Royal Rumble at 27. Doesn't even have to do a whole bunch. Just get a couple guys out and win. And then you get the match that you wanted in the first place with everyone behind it, because now it seems fair. Right? Why not?
I like it. So you finally get to see The Rock and Roman, the one that they've been having for like 2015, 16, 17, 18. It makes sense.
Yeah, like it honestly, like everyone's been clamoring for it. Like the only reason why people were mad is because it just, like, why does The Rock have to get it? Like, why does Cody Rhodes have to step aside? Right? Yeah. It just made no sense. Just have The Rock win the match. Like, win the match that gets you the match. That's it.
And then, what do you think is going to be for Triple H? It should be for his plan there from like now for Money in the Bank going into Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like if it's not The Rock, then I can definitely see it being involving Obafemi or Braun Breaker. maybe Triple H decides, you know what, we wanted Braun Breaker to previously win the Royal Rumble. That didn't happen, so now let's do it for 2027. And then, he could challenge Roman Reigns, and that has the potential to be a very great match. And if not Braun Breaker, since Obafemi has all this momentum, maybe Triple H decides, let's go with Obafemi. Let's have him win the Royal Rumble, face Roman Reigns. Since Obafemi did what he did to Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, let's say Obafemi just, takes out Roman Reigns. Like maybe not so much a squash match, but kind of like Obafemi just flats out overpowers him. And, that can lead to a lot of, future storylines and future matches. Like, maybe Obafemi becomes heavyweight champion, then fights Braun Breaker, and maybe that storyline picks up. So maybe that storyline takes a pause during WrestleMania season and then picks up after WrestleMania. Just a, possibility.
That'd be good there. And on that note, hope everybody tuning in here enjoyed this. It was great catching up, talking about Kawhi and that deal hopefully going through here, AEW, WWE, and everything there. And we hope everybody tunes in next time, catches us right here. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Millions, subscribe there, check out our past content and interviews, and enjoy your day. Thanks a lot, guys.